You hear that, guys? That is not the sound of my drink. No. That is the sound of a new survey by Plarium about Raid Shadow Legends, kind of. They're actually talking more about the minigame that recently launched, at least the second iteration of it. So we know it's the vampire survivor style game that they had in the Plarium Play app a while ago, and they wanted to hear the feedback. I really liked that minigame. It did get a little bit boring near the end because you're playing the same thing over and over again to get a reward, which was Dark Elhain. It's a good reward actually, but yeah, you know, when I was first starting it and understanding the mechanics of it, I was like, this is sick. I wonder how far this will go, and it didn't go super far. But in the space of me learning how to play it and seeing all the new content in it, that was fun. I really enjoyed that, so I'm kind of excited that they're actually asking questions from players about the minigame, because I'd love for them to do more. In fact, actually, they recently announced this, didn't they? Which was like a map, and it showed, you know, you could click certain things and read some of the lore here. You had some rewards here or something that you clicked and then you go to the game, but I didn't get any of them. I tried launching it, but it didn't give me anything, so I don't know what that means. Anyway, we got 18 more hours on that. I know they've announced some new game modes for and some new like enemies and bosses and stuff like that, but that's within Raid Shadow Legends and the core gameplay of Raid Shadow Legends. I'm actually more interested in the mini game they had and what else they might be doing in the future, because if there's new ways to play Raid Shadow Legends besides grinding, I'm all for it. I'm so excited. So let's start. First question is, yes, I am over 18. Do you split your time between Raid on? I mostly play on Plarium Play. What is the reason for playing more? It crashes an absolute ton on iOS. It just crashes all the time. I just can't play it on iOS at the moment. What influenced your rating of the Raid minigame event on Plarium Play? A completely new way to play the game and interact with champions I might already have. Difficulty of the minimap: by keeping moving around a circular path, it gave me ample time to keep my distance from the enemy. I didn't mind it. I would like it to be a bit more difficult. I know it feels bad when you like lose and you don't get like the reward that you were trying to aim for, but I wouldn't mind that they would focus less on the rewards that you can gain by just keeping on playing the game, and more about like how interesting it is to grind and get further in the game itself. You know, I don't want the rewards to be the incentive for me to play in the first place. I want to play it because it'll be fun all the way through and I don't have to grind. That's the main takeaway I had from the minigame. So question 25 is, did this minigame make a difference to whether you'd use Plarium Play in the future? It didn't really make a difference, really. The fact that I just saw it on there is cool, but I would have preferred having it in the game, I'm pretty sure. Would I take part in future Plarium Play events? Sure, yeah, I would. If you could change one thing to improve future minigames on Plarium Play, what would it be? They're not going to like this one, but having the ability to play the game within Raid Shadow Legends itself, providing the minigame is related to Raid. Don't think they're going to be able to do that, but it would be a nice to have, wouldn't it? Any other comments about taking part in future Plarium Play events? Please keep making new and interesting ways to play Raid without the standard turn-based combat. Finding new ways to reuse the amazing 3D assets will always be a plus in my books. Submit. Thank you for taking part in the survey. There you go. That was the survey for the minigame. Again, if you don't remember exactly what it was like a vampire survivor style video game where you just had to navigate around a map where enemies were spawning and chasing after you, and the more that you killed these enemies, you would level up and get a new ability, which would kind of match alongside the amount of enemies that were spawning and how faster they were getting. Just the idea of constantly upgrading and leveling up and farming that way kind of reminds me of like League of Legends, right? Like, why do people keep playing League of Legends? It's not because the grinding aspect overall. It's fun to kind of like start from the beginning and then get to the end game really quickly and choosing a particular path that you build that shapes the way that you play the game over and over again, right? So you're happy to do the same thing over and over again, but the way that you get from the beginning to the end constantly changes. So I find that really interesting in League, found it really interesting in this little mini game. It wasn't fully there because it was just too small, too short, but man, if they could make something like a bit more long-term and still get rewards from it, ooh, I'd really enjoy that, because I do love Raid. The only issue I have is that, like, obviously I'm using auto on a lot of things and it's just running in the background. So technically I'm not exactly playing the game in a lot of the part there in terms of the little bits of grinding. So sometimes the rewards kind of feel a little bit hollow, you know, like I feel like yes, I've got all the Minotaur scrolls by just auto playing the same level over and over and over again. But was it really worth it? Do I feel any achievement from that? Not so much for me. Maybe for other people, they like those features just so they could get those rewards very quickly to improve the farming. But I guess what I'm saying is that the farming itself is a bit tedious. If you can make a mini game that is really, really fun to play and you keep wanting to come back to it and you get rewards on top of that, I think that's a massive win-win for the player and for Raid alike. So let me know what you think about the survey, if you've taken part in it as well. Let me know if you enjoyed the mini game as much as I did. And hey, if anyone at Plarium is listening, please make more. I only played one. I got Dark Gelhain, I got all the rewards. It was so much fun. But yeah, that was the new minigame survey. We'll find out exactly what's going on here. Maybe it's a whole new minigame, especially now that we've got the survey dropping very close to whatever this is. Hopefully it is for something new, but we'll have to wait and see. But besides that, guys, I've been Charlie. You've been watching Bovine Raid, and you can check out this video that should be appearing right now. Oh.